Hello everyone, my name is MrNJersey and welcome to my channel. In this video we are back with another Friday update here in Stormworks. This time around we've got version 1.0.29 to talk about. Now there's been a couple new features that have been brought back and actually added in this version of the game. So we're going to be covering that in this video, so let's get straight into it and get started. So we're over here at the Creative Island and we're going to be talking about a few new cool things that we've actually got here in game. Now the first one is that we've actually got the physics debug back. So if you go and hit F2 on your keyboard, you now see we have got the debug vehicle physics. Now you're probably thinking, well, what is this for? Why do we need it? How does this impact us? Well, actually it's really useful. If you're trying to optimize your vehicles to reduce on the amount of lag that you get, especially if you're building in more larger creations, this is extremely useful. A lot of creators, before we actually lost this quite a while ago, actually use this to try and optimize the vehicles as best as they can. So apparently a lot of people have commented about this and asked for the devs to bring this back, and it is now back. Well, what is this actually going to do? Well, you can see that it actually shows the different physics of the different pieces that you have inside your creation and also on the outside. So you can see with this little boat we have a nice little angle here, and you can see all the different physics parts that this actually has to render in for us to see it here in game. It's quite a lot. You can see there's all these different types of blocks. Remember, each one of these physics pieces have its own color, so it's got quite a lot here. Now remembering that if we have less physics, it means the game runs smoother. Now that is really useful for large creations. So what they've gone and done is something I haven't seen before, is they've added a physics Flutter optimization block. Now this is something that you can obviously just bring us back into the workbench. You can go into your inventory and you can find it. It's called the physics Flutter. Now what this does is you have to use this firstly within an enclosed area, so like the front of a boat where I'm never going to go into. Secondly, the enclosed area has to have no wedges inside it. Okay, so that's a check. This is all squares inside here. There's no wedges in here. Cool. And then all you have to do is place this somewhere inside of the hull and spawn in. That's simple. It's kind of filling all the area in and it's completely invisible. So it's not like water or anything like that. And you can now see how that has changed from all those different little pieces to theoretically 3 or 4 different pieces. So you can imagine on a big ship, that has increased your physics FPS by a huge amount. Okay, the devs say they're probably going to get about 20% increase in performance just with this little tool if you decide to use it on your creations. I think more than that, especially for your larger creations. But yeah, it's taken theoretically what, 20, 30, 40 different pieces and split it into what, 2. So that's a really cool feature in my books. Please remember that, guys. Anything that does with performance, any increase in performance that players can get, is for myself a win in our books. Once again, I'd love to hear your comments on what you guys think about it. I think it's a really positive feature and I'd like to see that they obviously are looking at the performance. We already did speak about this in our Q&A when I was speaking with the devs. I obviously brought up the fact that performance is a big issue for everyone, so it definitely seems like they are listening. On another note, while we're talking about the Q&A, there is going to be another one coming up very shortly, so definitely keep an eye on my channel for the next Q&A where we're going to be asking some more of the community questions to the developers and getting a direct response back from them. So that's something really cool to look forward to. And that's pretty much about it for this week's update. There's not really much else to talk about. Those are the 2 major things that have been brought back or been added in the game, which is quite nice. There's been quite a lot of fixes and bugs that I've seen the devs have been working on. I'm not going to be covering all of those. I'm really excited to obviously be talking about the modular engines, hopefully coming soon. Wink wink, I can't confirm or deny they're coming, but we all know they are eventually going to be coming here. So should be looking out for those very shortly, I think, and something exciting to people start looking for. I'm really interested to see how people are going to start adding those into things like trains and aircraft and boats. We've seen them a lot in cars, and I've used them a lot in cars, but I'm quite interested to see how people are going to be using them in boats and helicopters and all those other kind of things. So very interested to see how that's going to work. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this week's update. Leave your comments in the video description below. If you haven't done already, definitely consider joining over on my Discord, and also maybe consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Obviously, liking the video does help it out, helps the channel out, and hitting the subscribe button means that you won't miss any of my future content. So that all said, I hope you have all enjoyed this video and found some maintaining, and as always, hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.